How does one sum up a year of playing a certain video game? How does one sum up 1 year of a certain amount of content's time? How does one sum up a year of anything? Well, you could go the deeper analytical route. You could make one of those silly, here's my last year of playing X video game or doing X thing videos, and probably get away with it. But because I like my channel small scale, my 240 subscribers, and I don't want the massive blow up of comments and other BS, I like to keep it simple. So, how do you, in only your third video of a sub-series, talk about an entire year's time of a video game? Well, you could go into spot by spot things you liked, things you didn't like. I, for one, find that mundane. Could talk about favorite things about it, sure. I could do that, sure. I could make a tier list or a myriad of other things, but I'm not technologically equipped to do that. And yes, I could be putting up gameplay of the actual thing that I'm talking about, which I could do that, but I feel hiding my voice under gameplay is not intimate. It's not what this channel was built on. That's why I don't do it. That's why the amount of times that I have done it, you can still count on your fingers and toes. So how do you still talk about a game you love without any of that? Well, you just cut straight to the chase and you say, I love the fucking video game. So yes, on this, the third episode of the Lyokian Proxy, I'm just gonna kiss a game's ass. And the corporation's ass. Not because I want any of their attention. I could care less whether I do or do not. Instead, let's be honest. Video games as a whole in this medium is becoming inexpensive, unaffordable, inexpensive trash. Things are getting way overpriced for things that should not be. Our common sense is virtually gone, and we are on the track to the wormhole of 83 again. All it takes is Grand Theft Auto 6 bombing and we're all to the nukes. Which, by the way, I would enjoy that future. Not only for the millions and millions of people in misery over their big game of the generation ending up a piece of trash, but newsflash, I'm not, never have been a GTA fan. I think it's the worst video game ever introduced in American culture. It's not subversive anymore. It's not dangerous anymore. It's just pathetic. And you can clearly tell the developers of the thing love to make it, but also want to get the hell out of here. They're tired of hanging on to this big-ass horse. So what does that have to do with Endless? Well, it's the exact opposite. I am a gamer of over 38 years, and because I'm a gamer that long, I can tell when a game and a game's development team genuinely gives a fuck. And trust me, the makers of Zenless Zone Zero genuinely give a fuck. Yeah, it's not perfect. The guarantee system should be 60 pulls to an S rank 90. The weapon should be guaranteed. There should only be one new character, not two, introduced in a patch with two retro banners, one of them being an automatic guarantee banner and the other one being standard but for even less than the standard 60, say 30 pulls, though with character catch-up. Deadly Assault, yes. HP inflation and all of that jazz, yes. But let's be honest, if a mode like Deadly Assault didn't exist, you guys would be begging for it. Like you did in all those years of Genshin Impact before they actually gave it to you, and you got upset that it was actually hard, and it required you to break out your wallet. Zenless of the Hoyo Triangle, as I call it, is the most consumer-friendly of the big three. It still will be, despite its myriad of mistakes. But over the past year, and this is the start of year 2 on the Xbox console for me, yes, I'm an Xbox player. We do exist. Our brand is alive, and we play with the greatest controller made in human existence. If you actually decide to talk to an Xbox player, you might find out some actual wisdom. But since starting my general Zenless journey about a year ago, I have won the 50-50 twice, had one double on the standard banner, have both of the major Void Hunter characters, and as of this recording, have enough pulls to guarantee the third. Wamiel Dan, or as I like to call her, Aelita Dan. Why? Just look at the motif, guys. She's basically Aelita from Code Lyoko if she was 6'10" in a teaser. But let's also be fair. There have been a lot of troubles in my time playing this game. 3-starring Deadly Assault levels is about as hard for me as it is for anybody. I could shift to manual chain, but manual chain would take weeks and weeks for somebody like me to actually master enough to feel confident enough to use it in runs. Because runs are time gated, I don't want to miss out on the polychrome that I could have. Rather than guaranteeing the polychrome that being that I get them all. Maybe one day I'll switch the manual chain like everybody else, but primarily I still enjoy the game regardless. Sure, I do every event on time every day. I've logged in for straight up a year plus, not missing a day. The money I spend on the game, internet passes, and new Eridu City funds. No pulls have ever gotten my wallet yet. I've gotten nearly everyone that could be usable to level 60, with most of their skills unlocked. I rely a lot on guides from Jay Shua, Kensei the and Kana. If you're looking for my 3 other YouTubers in the Zenless community that I refer to for additional info to make my disc builds. I have not made a perfect God set build, at least beyond me looking whether I have one even close. I am anomaly pilled, but I try to mix things up. I have a team of almost every type in the game, which I feel genuinely good about at this point. But I'm always looking forward to new units, not necessarily new engines. Phew, I've completed the story all the way up on time, and as of this recording, I just beat the Bamboo computer event all the way through, except for the final level. When I jump back into the game, I'll finish the Interboo stuff until the next update, in which we will get the next 2 set of mindscapes. I see what they're doing here. Music, excellent. Controls are, of course, excellent. And, well, there's not too many bad things to say. I play a lot of gacha games, and a lot of those gacha games are hentai games. I am a Nutaku regular, playing booty calls and everlasting life every day of my life, among other games. So I'm quite familiar with the gacha formula. Gacha has never been the problem. My biggest issue with Zenless is, although vertical investment is something that you should do in games like these, the game doesn't really incentivize it outside of the kits. This is why I would say lower the pull count to incentivize vertical investment. Now, when I say lower the pull count, that does not mean total pulls given the players. In fact, I would double that right off the bat. No, make getting S ranks easier. More avenues for more S ranks. You shouldn't have to pay $200 for a chance at an M1. If you're spending $200, you should be guaranteed at least an M2. So what am I saying? It should cost no more than $40 to get an M0. It should cost no more than $100 to get an M1. And it should cost no more than $150 to receive an M2. This would allow even weaker characters in terms of pull ranks like Seed and Sissia and Bonnie Way to finally get the pull traction they need, seeing that those characters in particular get massively better, upgrade their choices for team builds, and finally show their worth, launched their mindscape. Yeah, from a corporate level, this sounds like insanity. But if you're a gacha game player, you're looking at those full counts. So, losing a little bit of the monetary hair off the top, and also guaranteeing the weapon, would guarantee you more pull frequency. That's what Zenless needs right now. Is more pull frequency more often, combined with a slight difficulty nerf, but not a complete one. We don't want to be playing this game with our eyes closed, like I hear version 1 players were doing. No, we want it to still remain a hard challenge at the end game level, but we would like it if we weren't trying to break our backs every 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, in terms of character types, I can't really ask for much outside of a new S-rank shock anomaly, or to have fire types actually mean something for the first time in a year. Califer is an excellent map and by far the best example of Zenless's development team's creativity and ability to go big. Everything feels generally bigger here. It's quite an accomplishment, and I enjoy every second on that map doing something. Even Weisenbell's new fit really looks nice. And that's after me generally enjoying Season 2 outside of the temple management. By and large, I liked all the characters there except for Yuzaha. And when I say except for Yuzaha, I mean in all things. I just don't like this chick in many different ways. The fact that she's become the essential key of anomaly build teams aggravates me to no end. Meaning, I'm going to have to pull on a character I hate just to make my anomaly options feel as versatile as they could be. Hoyo, do not force players to pull characters that they hate to make multiple builds work. That's how you create people leaving your game. Sure, I'm not going to be one of those people picking up my controller and going elsewhere. But I have tougher skin than most. So please respect those that may not be as able or as willing to fight through the long haul like myself. They deserve some respect. Which falls back on why the gachas should take less pulls to get an S rank. Every single time in a gacha game, it all leads back to the pull. If the user does not feel comfortable or safe enough to pull, or like the character enough to pull, they will not pull. So, you want to lower the barrier to pull to absolutely the lowest level you can within financial sanity. From a gameplay standpoint, keep doing what you're doing for the most part. I have a feeling that you should end up more substat tuners, or just fully reveal the substats like you do in Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. That would help players a lot. Or set up an auto build system where if the player has enough equipped disc with the proper substats, they could simply press a button and the game automatically do it for them with the proper disc substats that they need, but the proper discs that they want to use for their 4-2s to the user's degree. Overall, Zenless Zone Zero has been my favorite game to play over the past year out of any other game that I have played or could be playing. I enjoy logging in every day, There's no sense of burnout. In fact, quite the opposite. If I don't play Zenless at least once a day, I feel like something's missing. Even if I do it for the 2 minutes to check in, burn, burn what I feel acceptable with my battery and get the heck out of there. Video games need to be more like Zenless. Quick, easy, fun, and generally attachable. Games being 30 hours is not what we need. We need games that can turn 3 minutes into 30 hours. We need to be considerate of our fellow gamer, their financial situation, and how much they're willing to do before pulling out. Sure, we don't want to give away everything for free because that's not logical, but at least make the feeling of winning just slightly easier. That way we don't have so many bricked accounts. When you hear about me next, it will be specifically by Ramiel Thoughts. Will she be my Zenless leader of my dreams? Well, we're gonna find out in a couple weeks now, aren't we? If you're looking for me in Zenless Zone Zero, you can find me under the tag Nirvana Sparkle with a capital N and a capital S. Make sure to note that that is Pacific. And I'll be willing to help you out with any ideas that might trouble you. No, you don't have to send me polls. I'm pretty efficient. And I want to keep this as much semi-free to play as I can. But if you find it in your heart to help me get a character I'm looking for, I won't say no. But until next time, Proxies, I'm enjoying our new city in the sky. Thank God I don't need plasmids and a skyhook. Until 3.1, find peace in your own nirvana.